Hi, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Real Time Wisdom Show. I am Lainey Savante Wilkin here with this amazing woman of grace, Joanna Salerno.
Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a great Monday and that you are finding grace in all the big and small places in your life. It certainly is evident if you only look for it.
Yes. Well, I'm glad we chose the grace card. Janelle, hey, Tony. Um,
Hi,
I'm glad
Tony.
we
You know,
chose the grace card and people ask all the time, there's Kathleen, all the time about the cards that we chose and
thank you, Janelle.
why they're showing up. And we don't really sit and plan a bunch of things because you can't plan anything because you were planning to go to work last Thursday and life took a turn.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So, hi, Kathy. um, yeah, so for those of you that might not know, I don't know how, much you guys follow, but my son was hit by a truck as he was riding his bicycle for fitness to help him strengthen his hip replacement. And the truck hit him going about 55 miles an hour. And he survived, which is a grace moment for sure. He's got multiple injuries and he's got a long road of recovery. But let me tell you, there has been so many, and I have to use our cards to tell this story because how could I not, right? There have been so many miracles already, so much soursop, and I'm witnessing this and going, oh my God, God is so good. When I got that phone call at 7:16 in the morning telling me that my son was being transported to trauma center because he was hit on his bike, I couldn't get information for 2 hours. For 2 hours, I didn't know whether he was alive, dead, not injured, or whatever. I was making multiple phone calls, and it was just, I was trying to keep myself positive. Lots of positivity, but I was scared. I was really had a lot of fear, and I was just trying to keep myself really in spinach, right? Really strong, because I knew that whatever it was, I was going to have to keep myself strong and I couldn't fall apart, even though every part of me wanted to just fall apart. Um, but I knew I couldn't allow myself that um,
Hey,
because
I'm
I
going to be
still.
pulling cards like you're doing that too. I like that idea.
So, I had to do a pack a bag. I had to get information. I had to plan a drive for 3.5 hours because my son lives in Melbourne, where I'm at right now. And I called my son and my daughter, Elijah and Maria, and they are 2 hours, only 2 hours away. And so they got here before me. And we finally got the information that, and when I heard about how the accident happened, and what occurred, that's all I could do was, just go to my knees and thank God, because he has no brain injuries. He had a helmet. He had everything that he needed to protect himself. He had a flashing light. He had his protective gear. He had his reflective gear. And so, no brain injuries, no internal injuries. We thought, and the CAT scan showed that he had a tear in his thoracic aorta, and they were watching that closely, but that healed in 24 hours. Soursop again. The doctor was like, we don't know how it happened. It was there, it's not there anymore.
Oh,
Miracle,
wait a
miracle.
second.
Spirit, right? Right. I mean, that was spirits doing for sure because they,
Wait. One more. Spirit in action.
Action. That's right. That's right. That's right. So when the doctor said that stay close tonight because we might have to rush him into surgery, he had the cardiac team on standby in case he started bleeding out from his thoracic aorta. So we got through that first night,
Hold
and
on. Through the
yep,
grace
through the
of
grace, thank you. Through the grace, we got through that first night. And, you know, there has been a lot of people's anger towards the driver of the truck that should have seen him, did not see him. But, you know, Jesse was talking to an attorney today because, of course, that's what you do in an injury. And Jesse said, I know that this guy didn't get in his truck with the intention of running me over. And I have to have forgiveness. I
and
still want money from his insurance company to pay for these medical bills because ICU is not cheap, you
because you
know?
need, this is what is needed.
Right. Support. And the most grace-filled thing of all, is Jesse's very, very, very rich, supportive community. They have come out like I've never seen people come out. Every day he's getting visitors, phone calls, messages. I'm getting phone calls and messages of people who love me, who love Jesse, and the support that I've been just, I'm overwhelmed with so much gratitude. And in our new deck, gratitude is moringa. And
Oh, wait, I have that here
do
somewhere. Just
you?
a
Okay,
second.
show
When
us
I,
the moringa.
that one I will show.
It's so funny,
There's a
isn't it?
few that
How
I
our
will show.
cards fit so well any story, right? Yeah, there you go. Plenty of moringa. And, you know, it's just observing it, being in it, but trying to take that eagle's perch view of it. You cannot walk through a tragedy, a trauma like this with your eyes half closed on one of the things of being a victim or whatever. Believe me, I've had all of the emotions. It's important to feel the emotions. It's important to go into the emotions. But at the end of the day, we can't stay in those, you know, low frequency emotions. We have to go into the, where's my expansion card? You can
Yeah,
feel
we
the
need the
feelings.
pineapple.
Right? You can feel the feelings, but then you have to go into complete expansion and see that bigger picture. And the bigger picture is my son is lucky to be alive. I am a lucky mama. I am a blessed mama right now today because he's talking, he's laughing, he's not laughing all the time, he's in pain, but he's finding reasons, right? And it's just the most beautiful thing. Tomorrow is his surgery. I'm asking for prayers. The surgeon today was looking for parts to put together his pelvis, which is in 5 pieces, and his hip replacement has to be replaced again. And he is going to have a very long recovery and a lot of healing. But eventually, with all that support, with all that community and everything else, he will be Kiwi. He will have his freedom. You know, he might have some things, maybe a limp, maybe whatever, but he will have his health back and he gets to tell the tale surrounded by you guys' love, all those messages on Facebook, the donations. I mean, I posted it on Facebook how grateful I am. My gratitude knows there's no limits to my absolute gratitude to God, to the people who surround me and Jesse. And you never know what life is going to hand you. You just, there's no control over what is going to happen in your life. And we have to have that two things. And you probably wouldn't put them together in a recipe, maybe so, but you have to have a good attitude and accept accept what it is, right? Because as soon as you go into that kind of resistance and no, this this is unfair and this is this and this is, why did this happen to me? And you go into that victim, you're lost. And I just,
You
yeah,
lose the grace when you go down that
you
blame
lose
game.
the grace. You lose the grace. And
And
I'm
that's a magical
accepting.
container. That's why it's in a
Mm,
basket. Like
oh, isn't that
it
beautiful, Lainey?
it's a container, and you
Mm,
want to sustain the beauty of it and the vibration of it because
mhm.
it attracts more, fills up the basket. And when you go down the blame and the anger and the resentment, you lose that magic. You lose the pomegranate, you lose the soursop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to stay in this state of grace because
Mm.
that's all there is. That comes from these two. I'm sorry I'm mixing big and small, but you know what I mean. Mix big, small. I got the new deck. I mean, I have to say there's so many cards I would be lifting up right now from the new
Oh my
deck.
God, with the new deck, I gave Jesse a reading with the new deck and it was everything. And he is loving that new deck. I mean, he loves our other deck, but he's loving the new deck. It
It's
really is a story of perseverance, right? And a commitment to our spiritual growth and how we can get through it. It's a much it's a deeper dive. It's a deeper dive into our life's experience. That and thank you everybody because I see all the prayers and everything else. I just love you guys so much, so much. Lainey has been an absolute rock. She's my touchstone. So I just want to publicly say thank you for being my partner in produce, my partner in my heart, my partner in everything, because um,
you know what it comes down to?
it's been a hard one, guys. Yeah, it's been a hard one.
Well, that's why you coming on here and saying I'm doing Monday night. I said
Mhm.
it's all up to you, how
Yeah.
you feel. But I know this show, this gathering, this energetic container we create here in the people, the cherries, um, you know, it's so healing, it's so avocado. I can't even find the
Mhm.
card. They're all over the
Yeah,
place.
I know. I
But you
know.
know what I feel the most I feel right now? Here's the card I feel.
Yeah. 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 Been lots. He was definitely divinely protected by his two fathers. Tony, his stepdad, and Chuck, his biological dad. They're both you know uh, uh, across the veil, so to speak, and I know that they were with him. And there's just a lot there, and there's going to be a lot more to come, because something like this that happens touches everybody, and everybody is a little bit shifted and changed because of it. And we're called the Real Time Wisdom Show, and that's why I came on tonight, because this is real time, real life, and our cards, the guidance here is real time and real life. And we have to give attention, pay attention to that, right? We have to pay attention to those times. I could have chosen not to do the show and stayed at the hospital, but I told Lainey, I need to be with my community too. I need to be here and share this, because it's an awesome, awesome outpouring of so much love. And I have such gratitude for it, that I just have to publicly say thank you to everyone, to all of you.
Me too, everybody. Well, I wanted to read from our book about this card, what we wrote 2.5 years ago
Mhm.
for this moment. This moment in time. Well, we've had lots of moments. We've had lots of moments of grace we've had to have bringing this out. We've had to have moments of feeling grace under pressure, like right now. And we've had to, walk with grace when things have been challenging, when people are like, What are you doing? Food and spirit, and what is all this? Like we've had to walk with grace knowing the calling. And I don't think I knew the impact. I'm going to cry more. I didn't think I knew the impact of our deck until we wrote the second one, and and how it's emerged, and how they're all talking amongst themselves, these little spiritual cards, and help keeping us on track. I didn't realize the impact and the intensity of how I've always known, but now I really know. And in a matter of weeks, we'll have the opportunity for other people to know what we've been seeing. Is that it's a mystical adventure that I'm so amazed to take, and it's showing me grace in every single way. So I wanted to just read from what we wrote back in the day, from our first deck in the Healing Wisdom of Grace. Voila. All right. What a beautiful gift of pears you have received. It is the highest that can be given. Grace, and this, if you didn't know, for some people, this next line comes from a channel I did at my wedding. Snuck it in there, just was called to read that out. But this is something of a song my husband wrote from a channel I did about grace. Grace is the cornerstone to sanctify our temple. Everything we do should be done through the purity and the frequency of grace. What are you to do with the gift of grace, you ask? Grace is Spirit's model for the human race. Pears comes in to grant you grace that cannot be given by anyone else except from the highest of the high. It's a gentle nudge to invite you to slow down and consider all that's in your situation. Seeing through the eyes of grace may give you new perspective. How interesting.
Mhm.
Acknowledge Pear's vibration and treasure its arrival. It is yours to accept, but we can definitely recognize grace when it's in our presence. So it is.
So it is.
And you said just before we came on the show, you said, when we were having, a challenge of this, or this was going on, we'd gladly look at that now that you're seeing, like, the bigger pictures of what's happening. Like, we all need to go back and have some grace with the arguments, the little, not sweating the small stuff, because when you get presented the big knocks on the door of like, are you living in grace? We're going to give you some opportunities to explore that. We want to share that you can do that without getting the big knocks,
Right,
and
right,
appreciating it all, right?
right. I think it's really important that perspective piece. The times when life just is frustrating and things aren't going well. I'd much rather be in that time of frustration where it's just the little things than getting getting a phone call, like this, and having to really really dig deep to find the beats, the grounding, right? And to find your foundation. Okay, all right, this is a big one. I need to stand really strong here. I need to just, be there for my son, and just, whatever it was, whatever I knew I was going to have to face, and him too. My son, I have so much respect for my son Jesse beforehand, and now even more, because I'm watching him with his life completely changed, at least for the next 3 to 6 months, where he won't be able to do the normal things that he loves to do. He's an athlete. He's done triathlons, he's done marathons, he's a surfer, he's a skateboarder, he's like all of the things. He's very active, and he's very active in his community, which is why he's loved so much. And it's and to see him shift out of those times when he gets resentful or when pain is coming, and I watch it. I watch him, He'll be 45 years old in a few weeks. September 4th, he was born on Labor Day. Should have gotten a clue then, huh? I watch him, deal with it, and then shift into, I'm so grateful I'm still here, you know? Like, this sucks, but it could be worse. And somebody said, he could have been knocked, oh, he was on a bridge on the causeway. He could have been knocked over I mean, so many things could have happened that did not happen. And goes back to center. It's like, yeah, crap happens, but we have to navigate towards that center, and know that grace has arrived.
I think I don't remember the exact story, and I've been trying to keep notes when you and I talk so I can keep notes for you.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
you said something about that he's had some trauma to the face.
Yeah.
And was it the nurse or someone said, but he's still good looking? Or what? He's still good
Yeah,
looking, or whatever it was. It just warmed my heart. I'm like,
yeah, he's got a big scar. So he says, I need a name, Mom, like Captain Hook, but not Captain Hook. So we were calling him Harry Potter with the wizard. He goes, but it doesn't look like a Harry Potter. So a
not a
nurse,
lightning bolt.
yeah, right. A nurse comes in and says, it looks like a crescent moon. So he goes, well, maybe I'll be Captain Crescent.
Oh my God, is that grapes all the way?
That's grapes
Attitude
all the way,
all
right?
the
It's
way.
like he needs a name, and one of the visitors came in and said, you're going to get points with the ladies now because you were looking way too good before. So now I added some character to your face. So
It's interesting when you said 7:16, that's my birthday. So my heart dropped a little, like that that you looked at the clock and you know exactly when you get these calls.
yeah, yeah. Yes, I knew because it was my ex-daughter-in-law that called me, and she never calls, and I'm like, it's 7:16 in the morning. Like, what the heck,
Yeah.
And why is she calling me? And I knew, right? I mean, you know, I knew something was up for sure. But
When we created the first deck, it wasn't we didn't realize until later all these different other gifts emerged. The angels, tarot, this Saturday, that emerged as one of our big wows. And I hope whoever can come, if Joanna's feeling, well, we're going to see how this week goes, but if it's to be, Joanna will be joining us this Saturday for that class.
oh, that class is so good. And it's the hero's journey. That's what this is for Jesse, right? And
Right.
for me, and for my whole family, and for, Kathy. It's like, it's the hero's journey for all of us. Like, we are walking through the hero's journey. And yes, I want to be there at that class. Yes, I
It's
want to
such a
be
powerful,
that, because
you can
it's
actually almost, even if you've taken it, see it now differently, because I think we're going to teach it differently and hear it
absolutely,
differently. But what I wanted to say, and you got it exactly, is that the first deck emerged all these incredible layers. And now, now we've been teaching these classes, and each experience in our life deepens the class learnings. And every word that I'm hearing you say in this conversation tonight, you have you have said a good handful of the words in the new deck.
yeah,
And I know that that's not an accident. I also know that whatever classes or understanding or new layers that are coming out of the new deck are going to be so profound. I have chills up and down, wondering what's next.
what's going to
Um,
emerge.
what's going to
Mhm.
emerge.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what's going to
So
evolve. Yeah. I'm
evil.
reading all of your love yous and everything. Know that I'm reading them, and I thank you, for all of your love. I mean, jeez, I just, it just feels, after, I want to say this right now, Lainey, because I'm afraid I'm going to forget after, but I'm going to ask you if before we close tonight, if everybody would kind of stick around while Lainey, if she's willing, and I have a feeling she totally is saying a prayer for the surgery tomorrow. And if you all could like just join us in sending those surgeons, there's going to be a real team. Every one of them has come into his room talking about what they're going to do. It's like two major surgeons in there, all of the support team. They've all come in and talked to Jesse. I've tried to record their conversations because there's so much. But if Lainey, if you would do that before we sign off tonight and say that prayer and everybody could join in, because this mama's a little nervous, the scar is huge, how they have to cut him open and so definitely need that prayer. All of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, perfect. And look what the card I pulled.
Oh yeah. Of course. Oh, I just got chills on that one.
Oh, and the card underneath it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you oh, and the card underneath that.
There you go. All of it, right? All of
Oh, and
it.
the card underneath that.
Yeah.
If you haven't done that before with our cards, you can literally just lay them out and bring in a desire and watch spirit have a conversation with you like we're doing. I mean,
Hmm.
we speak in food
We speak
generally.
it.
Now we're speaking with 124 foods. Soon you all will be.
Mhm. Yeah.
But it's an amazing experience to have that dialect. But lay out the cards because they're shuffled in exactly what you need to know and hear.
Hmm.
And what do? We have a lot of modalities, both between the two of us, but we're going to the cards for this because
Yeah.
there is we're learning what has to be done. And when we drew cards last night, did a reading for Jesse late last night with the new deck. I don't think I have ever felt a greater connection to like the cosmos and the understanding than those four cards. I mean,
It
I
was
say that with
amazing.
100% transparency. Like, I think something shifted in me last night because of it.
We will be sharing that in our level 2 certification class because it was that profound. And Lainey and I knew that this was something we would share, in that class because it was kind of mind blowing. And I told Jesse about it and showed him the cards, and that was pulled. That lady pulled. I said, "Lady did a reading for you last night." He goes, "She did a reading for me?" I said, "Yes," and I showed him the cards, and he had tears. After I told him the reading, he like, "Oh my God, Mom!" So he really really appreciated that and took it heartfelt. Heartfelt.
I think that was for all of us to bear witness. And like you
Yeah.
said, we this is definitely like level 2 deepening of the layers, which we will be sharing with y'all shortly. So we're not doing a full show tonight. I just, Joanna needs her rest and there's a lot going on. But if anyone has any questions or thoughts or anything they'd like to even state about grace or even talk about, your experience with grace or anything you want to share in the comments, I know you're doing such an amazing job. And Carrie, I know you said I'm late. I highly recommend you go back to the replay just to catch up. At the beginning, there was a lot that we were sharing and see what people's thoughts are because you have a lot going on. What time is the surgery? Do you have a time?
No, I'm waiting to hear, the doctor said that he would give us a time as soon as he found all the parts. And Jesse said, tell him to go to Napa. Is it Napa, the auto body parts? Yeah, he was looking for parts to put my son back together. That's kind of freaking, you just can't even wrap your head
Don't hold
around it.
this up. You need to have this with you tomorrow.
Yeah, oh, believe me, I
I
will have.
mean, Grace. Here, here you go.
Yes, yes, Kathy, and you know that he is very strong. He's very strong.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kathy.
So I will end with this prayer, but I do want to do a couple of announcements. Oh, Sabrina. Do you know Sabrina and I have been friends since kindergarten?
Oh, really? Oh, hi, Sabrina. How nice.
So that's what over a half a century. I mean,
Mhm.
that's grace, is to be able to have friends that long.
Yeah.
That's grace. Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the old other is gold.
Mm,
Sabrina's had her moments. I've had my moments. You've had your moments. Like we all have our moments.
yeah.
And she reminds me of grace,
Oh.
especially when the goings get rough. And I am I'm pulling from the new deck. I got to move over here. I am I have such an anxious, not an anxiousness, but a desire to be able to start working with people and um, letting them feel it's like a release, when you can fully be transparent. And you said something very important, and you've said it a few times, and I wanted you to share with the audience your interpretation, if you don't mind, of spiritual bypassing, because you've said that a few times, and I said, that's really something that we should be talking about. If you don't mind just commenting
No.
on that.
So, we all do it. We all have been taught in the esoteric communities and the metaphysical communities, think positive, have like, don't, if you feel a feeling, oh my God, no, you got to turn that around right away. And that is spiritual bypassing. We cannot just bypass our feelings, these deep, emotional, gut wrenching, heartbreaking events that happen, and just say, well, it's all good. It's meant to be. So I'm going to just think positive. Yes, thinking positive is so important to raise your vibration and see that bigger picture, and to be with gratitude at the same time. Feel it, being able to cry, being able to let your heart break, because when your heart breaks, it breaks open, right? We guard our hearts so much. We're guarding, and we're not letting the feelings be felt. And that is dangerous, because as a body worker, as somebody who works with people's bodies, all of those emotions are buried deep within the cells. And our body responds with pain, with disease, with contraction, all kinds of things, right? It's important to be gingerly with your feelings, but allow yourself to have them without bypassing them and shoving them down, because that means we're closing off. We're contracting, right? We're closing off. And yes, it hurts to feel. Who wants to cry? Who wants to feel pain? It's an important part of our spiritual journey. It's an important part of the hero's journey that we'll be talking about on Saturday at the tarot class. But it's so important, guys. Don't just shove things away and say, "Oh, I'll get over this," or "I'll pull myself up by my bootstraps," and all of that. Of course, we will work on things, but it's just so important to feel it and not spiritually bypass them, because that means you're closing down. You're shutting down. You're not opening up. You're not expanding. You're contracting. And I don't care if you paint a pretty picture over a wall of crap, right? That crap's going to seep through. Excuse my analogy, but
Well, bravo in everything you just said. I second and third that. I also wanted to add just two pieces to that. One is we have the word contraction in our next deck because we have, and if we haven't told you, these two decks are mated. And if we haven't also shared with you that the new deck is performing as a divine masculine, where the first deck is divine feminine, and they are married, and it's a pair of energies. And we didn't discover that, and it's part of the story of why this next deck is so profound. But you can choose expansion, pineapple, and you can choose contraction, which will announce what that food is, coming up here soon. But contraction and so many of the words that you said are in the new deck. But secondly, you spiritual bypassing does a lot of thinking, which is the air element, is the thinking. Yes, we do talk about mindset and we have mindfulness cards, but the real work is in the feeling, right? It's in the ginger. It's in the feelings, and getting to that bite. Ginger has that bite. It's the feeling of stuff, because that's when you're really integrating the energies of change. And so I just wanted to make mention of that. Yes, it's a positive mindset. But it's only works when you're feeling it on the multisensory level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, Jenny's here.
Hey,
So,
Jenny.
well, that's all I had to share. Again, I want to honor your energy and your time and this amazing hero's journey tomorrow. Jesse's going through a hero's journey right now. We're teaching the tarot class this Saturday. I don't know, you know, how things work, but I do know that there's probably something very significant in what's being shared about this and the teachings, and you brought it up with the hero's journey. So join us Saturday, and let's dive into this healing journey, because it's not just you. Because when you're down, I'm down, they're down, and like you said, when we're all up, like that cherries that's being expressed right now is so profound, because we all need that. And the outpouring is like, it's just awesome to see what is happening in the midst of. Why can't we be in that community when things are up?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be great? We're all just this connected, you
Mm.
know, and not just when, the times are when it's down or traumatic and, all that. But so it is. That's what we have this week. We have a major outpouring needed of support, right? Of our butternut squash,
Hmm.
Jesse Hall tomorrow. He has a long surgery. And let's just picture that. Let's just close our eyes and take a minute to take a breath and release any tension or any fears or any worries that you've been holding on behalf of Joanna. Let's just dissolve those now, or on behalf of Jesse or anybody in this family. We're all holding our breath, wanting to know what's happening. But let's just dissolve any feelings of concern and transmute that just into pure love, pure light, pure joy, and feel what it feels like to have everything go smoothly tomorrow, from the doctors to the surgeons to all the perfect parts, perfectly fitting in perfect harmony for Jesse, allowing the angels and the ascended masters and all his spiritual community and spiritual committees up above and below be here, be present to watch over him and watch over everybody involved with this and the recovery and everything that needs to happen to bring him back into his fullness. We give thanks for our cherries in so many ways, with such moringa, such gratitude that we have this community to grow from, lean on one another, and be here in this moment in Joanna's need. We give thanks to all of you and to all of those who will be coming forward to support you and Jesse and everyone in this time of need. And so it is, so it is, so it is. Aho.
Amen. Thank you, Lainey. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you
Any
to all of
time.
you. If you remember or it's in your it comes in your mind about Jesse tomorrow as he's having his surgery, just if you would all just send him some light. Just send him light at that moment, and it just only can just be for a second, but just keep sending that beautiful light that all of you generate and that I have felt from the very beginning of the food healing journey. So
I pulled one card, final card. Do you want to pull a final card?
I would love to pull a final card. Hmm.
I pulled one.
Two came out. So go ahead. Tell me what you pulled.
I pulled blueberries.
Ah, that's good.
And for me, that is really
That's Archangel
significant.
Michael. If you took our angels and archangels class,
Right. Um, I think um, I think getting really clear on what we talked about tonight, and please go back and watch the rest or the beginning if you missed it, is talking about how to be in grace, how to have grace, because grace also provides you clarity.
yeah,
Because you're not lost in the druthers of the experience, but you're able to have the clarity to observe and allow the space for spirit to come in and guide you on the next step. And so this is what's happening now
yeah.
is clarity.
And I got the two, positivity and action. So, all of our actions to be positive, all of the surgeon's actions to be positive. And I know tomorrow I'm going to be quiet. I'm probably not going to have my phone and do much talking during the surgery because I'm going to be there in the room etherically and I'm going to be supporting my son. And so if you can't get a hold of me, I'll be, I'll be posting an update, big thumbs up. And, but during that time, I'll probably be really quiet. And I will. I'll definitely be telling Jesse how much you love him, Kathy. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I mean, God, so many blessings, so many blessings.
Okay, so just to wrap up, this Saturday is our tarot class, and at the end of this month, da, 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 is our certification class. And again, that's almost going to take on a whole new meeting too. So
Yeah.
if you haven't done it, you want to do it, you're going to love it. And then for those who've done it, get ready because level 2 is on its way, which we'll be announcing as well in the next coming week. So the first level 2 will be available in February, but we have August 26th and 27th. And by the way, this Saturday is the last day of our summer sale. So if you were thinking of doing a certification and you want it at the lowest price possible, it ends this Saturday, and then the price goes to our regular price. And then in level 1 does double, not double, but it does go up significantly from December on. And so try to take August class or our November, and you can purchase them even if you did a deposit by this Saturday. We'd love to see you in the certification class. Talk about another community of depth. Beautiful men and women have taken this and are taking this, and we're all close knit family, I feel. And then we move into the next realm, which is level 2 next year. So with the new deck.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
exciting.
gotta have some things to look forward to, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot here. Blessings to everyone. I love you, whether I've just met you, I haven't met you, or I've known you as long as Sabrina. I love you all, and I love how you are loving my partner here. It means the world to me too.
Yeah. Thank
All
you so
right.
much.
Take care.
Night,
Bye, everyone.
everybody. Love you. Kisses and kisses and kisses.